if you have a sex change, you are considered mentally ill. You know, the military can deny you for a broken fucking toe. They can deny you for a toenail missing. Like my buddy got denied because he had a urinary tract infection once.
Fucking hell.
They can deny you for whatever they want. And then Katie was like, I told that to Katie at mom. She's like, so you can't technically get in the military. I said, yeah, I can. I said, if you listen to Jeff, my doctor, all he said is I have to be completely taken off my pills for a year with daily check-ins to the doctor. And after a year of being off my pills, he will waiver all my shit on my record. So my depression, my suicide attempts, all that. He'll waiver all that. That way none of it shows up on my record anymore. He said he'd do that if I could do a year.
Nice.
Because that's your normal, that's a procedure that they can do to let you in the military. If you're stable, if Jeff or if your doctor thinks you're stable enough, they can waiver it, but it has to be over. I think you have to be off your pills for over a year first. It's a year. But now if that happened, and I went to the recruiter, I would say nothing about it being wavered. I wouldn't say anything. I'd see if he figures it out, if it's on my record, if it says anything on my record that it got wavered or not. You don't, because if it doesn't show up, you don't want to tell him that you did. That you had all these problems. Because you're less likely to get in. I honestly think the military would be good for you. You'd lose a lot of weight. You'd learn some discipline. I need to go. I need to learn some discipline. It's something that you're gonna need throughout life. You're gonna need it because you're gonna meet a bunch of people that you don't like throughout life. Just like there's a kid named Hunter Wysocki in town right now. I could have beat the shit out of him, but I had enough discipline to say it's not worth going to jail for. You know, he's already in jail actually. He just got picked up. He got picked up for rape.
Fucking hell.
He's looking at a minimum of 10 years in prison, and he's 17. That's for one rape case. There's a bunch of people that are coming out. There's a bunch of girls that are coming out now
Fucking hell.
that say that they've tried to get with them and have sex with them even though they're under their age. So, I have a picture that says "Hide your kid, hide your wife," and it's in news. It looks like it's on the news, and it's got a picture of them.
Fucking hell.
Let me see if I can find it. Hide your kids, hide your wife. Ooh. Waiting for mom to get home with my fucking weed. Yeah. Yeah, Joe last night, I called him, not yesterday, but the day before, at night, and told him, yo, tomorrow I need to get some weed. And he's like, alright, so I can do that. Fucking, he texts back at 9:30. Well, it's too late now. You dumb piece of shit. I've been trying to get a hold of you since 2 o'clock. Oh my god. Then he's then he's like oh, I was at my aunt's with my mom. I was like, I just called your mom at like 3, and she said that you were out on a bike ride. He's like, oh yeah, I had to go to Chris's. I was like, you dumb piece of shit. Don't try to work your way out of the lie.
I know.
I'll just straight up tell people I forgot.
Yeah, fucking hard.
I'll just be straight up with you. Unless there actually was something going on that day. Even at that, I just tell them I was fucking busy. But I wouldn't tell them something that's a lie. I would just tell him what I was actually doing. Not that, but he said his phone was dead all day at home. I was like, then plug it in, you piece of shit. Yo, why does everybody use MDF
Fuck is MDF?
to build shit?
Yeah,
Medium density fiberboard.
it's cheap, I guess.
No, it's expensive. A sheet, like a sheet of it. I think
Fuck's
what
so
do
bad.
normal what does normal sheets come with?
I don't know.
Or how big is a normal sheet of wood?
2x4, right?
Like when you buy it from Home Depot? Medium density fiberboard. You know what fiberboard is, right?
It's just like a bunch of things of shit. Fucking
That shit that you cut and it turns to more like a powder.
yeah.
Yeah, it's that.
What's so special?
What's so
about
good
shit?
about it? I don't know. It's actually it holds a lot of sound quality though. A lot of subwoofer boxes and speaker boxes are built out of MDF, but it's usually built out of thick MDF, like 3/4 inch. I had a box for two 10-inch subwoofers, and that was made out of 1-inch 1-inch MDF. And that box alone, without any subs in there, weighed at least 90 pounds.
Oh my shit.
But the sound quality was so great because that shit holds in quality. That's what my box is right now for my 12 inches. Is it 3/4 MDF or is it a 1/2 inch? I think it's 1/2 inch. Oh, it's so true. The trailer for Assassin's Creed 3 was so much better than the actual game.
Isn't it like every game's trailer?
No, Battlefield 1 was pretty straightforward. Assassin's Creed was just amazing, though. Like, yo, get back into that watch together.
Requires effort.
Oh, well. You're gonna have to get some of that sometime.
Probably.
Because you ain't never gonna get a job.
Yeah.
Trust me. You're gonna want to put in a little bit of effort in life. Or you ain't gonna get nowhere. And that's the truth. Trust me. Levi thinks I'm a douchebag some of the time. Or he used to. But now he talked to me the other day. He said, I used to be a douche. And he said, I've been being a douche. I said, why? He's like, because you're telling me the shit I need to hear and not what I want to hear. I was like, yeah, I'm brutally honest. Brutally honest is probably one of the best ways to get anything through anybody's head. Lying's not going to get you very far. Because you just tell somebody what they want to hear, and they're never going to change what needs to be changed. Just like Joe, he never got back with his ex. That whole thing was a bunch of rumors because she was pulling him by the hand somewhere, and then people I was hanging out with, everybody was telling me they got back together. Then when really I talked to him and they weren't even back together.
Fucking hell.
He blocked her again. But they're not back together. Saving the world. Off the Ranch, Demolition Ranch's other channel, he posted something saving the world with Hitcock 45.
Fucking hell.
Yo, what if a motor was so wore out that the piston was just kind of flopping inside?
Probably wouldn't even run.
I know, but like, what happens if you took an engine apart and it like, the piston and the cylinder weren't tight anymore? Just kind of moving around in there a little bit. Bunch of fucking, your fucking crankcase seal's probably dead. Because I don't know about you, but when gas gets in the engine, when gas gets down into the oil and shit, it tends to ruin seals. Because on my little nitro car, that's like a 3.3, what is it? 3.3 cubic inch?
Probably.
I can't remember if it's a 3.3 cubic inch or if it's a 3.3 cubic centimeter motor.
Tiny. Like tinier than tiny.
Well, they are small motors and they run on nitro.
There'd be like the top little bit of your fucking middle finger, not even.
Oh, get on watch together. I'll show you what it is.
Where's the... Almost to my thing.
Oh, you're. You can get a supercharger for these motors too.
Oh my god.
Little nitro motors get superchargers. You can't. I don't know if you can get a turbo, but I know you can get supers.
As if they weren't already fucking enough little fucking spin zingers.
Yeah, just in case that the RPMs weren't high enough for you
Yeah.
at 10,000, if not higher.
Let's go to 30,000.
You know, I wonder if those motors have to come with forged pistons and shit,
Probably.
because you'll see how small they are once you get into once you get into watch together, and they're expensive. I'll go pull one up right now.
Wonder how much titanium fucking pistons would cost you.
Yeah, you can get sleeves.
I wonder if
A
some
3.3
things would be able to handle the shock of the engine.
The 3.3 engine is right around $150. They're expensive little motors. I think they're 20 cc's. No, 33 cc's. No.
Barely any CCs.
With the recoil? Oh, that's with the multi-recoil. Oh, okay, so that comes with the adapter for both electric and pull start. Okay. I have electric start on mine. I have all the electric shit.
Fucking fancy ass.
Yep. And Jesus, and talk about a bitch to get in and out of the little car itself. Talk about a bitch to get in and out. You think you think working on a big motor is fucking difficult? You know how long it took me to tear that little fucking motor apart? Down, like, I mean, piston out and everything.
Hours.
Like 3 hours, yeah.
Fucking.
On a little fucking engine. They're fucking complicated.
It's only two
They run on.
strokes.
They're not even two smoke. They're nitro. You run them on straight nitromethane. But actually, it might not be straight. It might be because you put it.
Like 2 strokes of like the engine.
Yeah. 2-stroke of it. Yeah, engine, not fuel though.
Is nitromethane oily?
I don't think so.
You're the one
Nitromethane's red. Here, let me go grab the can. I have a big old fucking metal can of that shit. Cause shit's expensive. I think that was like a gallon and a half, 2 gallons, and that shit was $40.
Fuck.
And the worst part about it is when I got that running, even because I pulled it off the shelf because it's Bob's, and he said it's been sitting up there for 6 years, and that was a long time ago. And he said it hasn't ran like 6 or 7 years. I was like, all right. So I took it all apart, and I actually went to go try to start it. The engine was all seized up, so I took it all apart, sprayed a bunch of fucking carb cleaner in there, and fucking loosened it up. Got it to actually move freely. I got it to run once, but it was so weak. So those motors, when you give them everything, they're supposed to go, wah! You know, and just open right up. But mine just went, whoa! It was still pretty fucking fast though. It was probably still doing 40 miles an hour down the road. Bob said the top he got his to was like 60 something. When he used to
Those things
play
probably
it.
don't last too long.
The engines do, but the other parts on them, no. Because they're pretty easy to flip and break. They're one of those things that you put $300 into it, break it the next day, and you have to put another $150 into it.
That's when you get a metal fucking body and shove and everything.
My whole body is metal. There's obviously gonna need to be some plastic on there for certain shit.
If it can be metal, make it metal.
You know, I don't even think the engine is in that motherfucker anymore. I think it's just up in a old coffee can in my old closet.
Oh my god.
I don't. The engine shot. Why do I need the engine? And yes, they're
Fucking
carbureted.
Torn up is the fucking piston rings.
Doesn't have any piston rings.
I've scored to the side of it then.
Last time I was in there, nothing actually. It was pretty clean. It's just getting wore out. It's wore out, running weak. It's old. When I picked it up off the shelf, it's been locked up for 6 years. It's been sitting there locked up for 6 years. Oh yeah, but Bob said he bought it like, what was it like, almost like 10 years before that? That's probably what I'll end up getting for Christmas. I'll probably end up getting a new motor for that. Because he told me, he's like, if you put a new motor in that with your own money, he's like, go ahead and have it. He's like, I don't want it. He's like, I'll help you get it running and everything, but he said, I don't want it. He said, you can have it. He said, I don't use them. You know those? You know what one of those new Traxxas 3.3 T-Max cost?
A lot.
We were at a hobby shop. They wanted $600 for one,
Fuck.
and that was with the 2.5 cc. That was with the 2.5 engine,
Isn't it like the
and after
small
3.3. Yeah, there's the one. I think there's like a 1.5, and then there's the 2.2 or the 2.5, and then they have like the 3.3, which is the biggest.
one? Is it
Oh yeah, but I think the 3.3 is the newest motor they made. Because if you look at like the 2.5s and the 1 point whatever, they look extremely old compared to the 3.3s. The 3.3s have a whole new body shape and everything to them. They have a whole new cooling structure and everything. You know what's even funnier? These things are running on nitromethane at fucking 10,000 RPMs, and they're air cooled. They have a teeny ass fucking carburetor on them. It's really hard to dial in because you're not sure what screw does which.
fucking hell?
And not only that, but if it's not dialed, okay, so they have like a, I don't know, probably a gas tank that holds. Oh, I don't even know. It's pretty small. It's not a huge gas tank. It's
When in doubt, you need a fucking.
I don't know, it's
gas tank that
probably-
holds like 200 gallons, Joe.
It's probably 3 inches long and probably 2 inches tall. They're not very big, but when I had it running, it almost burned through a whole gas tank in like 5 minutes
Fucking hell.
because that's how out of tune it was.
Makes no power, fucking guzzles all the gas.
Yes. Yep.
Say that thing's a little out of tune.
Mhm. I'll be back. Be back in a few minutes. I think it's shit too.